morning I will share with you a little bit about the industry and also some other information related to turf grass management. So there is a long history on turf grass management and industry. And of course, you need also to ask yourself why we need to learn this. And the simple reason is we have existing turf grass industry in this country in a form of golf courses and also in a form of a football field, and of course in a form of area along all the roads that we have in the country without you realizing actually that the grass growing, okay, on the roadside are actually turf grass species, especially roads in an urban area. So it is not just a simple grass actually. Those are actually turf grass species. Although it is called cow grass, which is the most cheaper and also uh, the most easily available turf grass in the markets, but it has a very important roles, okay, in our landscape, especially in urban area. And those this kind of turf grass have helped the urban setup to looks beautiful. Okay, so you have to learn this management of turf grass in order for you to maintain the turf grass industry and also to maintain the urban landscape, especially when we need to create a space between the buildings and also between the roads and also between the walkway and the roads and also the buildings. So there is existing industry related to turf grass management. And as a citizen of this country, we have a task to support this industry in order for us to ensure that our environment is always beautiful and functional for the benefit of our own society. And of course, there are a series of careers in turf grass management. And I will explain a little bit about turf quality at the end of this chapter 1, and also a little bit about turf grass management, just to prepare yourself on what will be expected in the later stage of this course. So turf grass management is a range of activities, including cultural practices for establishing and sustaining turf area at a desired level of quality. So as I mentioned, there is a turf grass industry available or existing in our country. And this industry support various function of the landscape, and we need to sustain this industry in order for us to get the benefits of a good landscape and a beautiful and functional environment. And of course, you need also to be very good in defining what is turf and what is sod and what is turf grass. So simply I say turf is related to the area where turf grass is being planted, and sod is a piece of turf grass, including the roots and the media. And turf grass is related to the grass, the species that we use, okay, in a turf field. And of course, there are a, a wide range of uses of turf grass. One is a control of erosion. You may wondering if you go around the urban area, the city area, and of course you will see an erosion. Other than the stuff of the municipal council are maintaining the area, of course, the turf grass that they plant in that area will also help to control the erosions. And if you drive along the roads on the left and right of the road, of course, you see the very cheap and widely available turf grass without realizing actually those grass are actually turf grass. It will also control erosions. And then the second one is cool the warm weather in the city area, in the urban area. Of course, it's not easy for us to plant only trees, okay, because it will also disturb the other development in the city. So the other alternative for us is to plant turf grass, and it will absorb the heat from the sunlight, and indirectly that will cool the warm weather. And of course, the grass will produce oxygen because we have quite a vast area, open area in urban setup. If you go around maybe Kuala Lumpur, for sure that you have seen that there are many empty spaces between buildings, and if we let this area, okay, without turf grass, if we let the area to be I mean, if we just construct the urban area only with concretes and other hard materials, of course it will not so comfortable for us to live in the urban area. The temperature will be very high, and other things will also be a problem for us, like uh, during the uh, during the hot period of the year, there will be a problem in the temperature in urban area, and that will really uncomfortable for us. And that's the reason that we need turf grass, because it's easy for us to maintain it even in a small area within of the concrete platform in any city in our country. And of course, as I mentioned, clean the toxic area, produce oxygen, it will screen the dust, okay, and then it decorates the landscape, provide safety lining for sport activities. This one is directly understood by us. And of course, it will increase the golfing quality and also the golfing enjoyment. So those are the importance of maintaining the turf grass field in our environment. Before this post, I do believe that quite many of us, okay, do not aware that turf grass play a very important. Okay, turf grasses play very important roles in our landscape and of course in our life, as listed on the screen. So a little bit about the history. The Persians used it in their gardens many centuries before Christ, and Romans introduced it to Europe, and then popularized use in the medieval gardens, and colonial empires bring it to United States, and Phil Sport popularized it use in the sport industry, and that's why we have it also in our country. And of all, gold is the dry post for its collection, breeding, and progeny enhancements. As of 2019, okay, US has 16,000 to 18,000 golf courses, and Malaysia has 200 with with one 6 8 clubs are officially registered with the Malaysian Golf Associations. And I have checked recently, the numbers of golf courses in Malaysia have increased a little bit. Okay, maybe one or two addition over the past 2 years, and we don't have any that being closed. So this actually indicate to us that golf courses, although it may look like sunset industry. But once it is established, the likely chances that it will be closed is also very low. Okay, so in Sandakan itself, originally we have only one, and now we got two. Okay, with the addition of one more golf courses, and both of them are doing well at the moment. So of course the development new golf courses is slow, but once it is established, usually it will never. So we can say that it is actually a slow growing industry, but very stable. And then a little bit about the income. It is about 9 to 40 billions worth kind of business around the world. And in Malaysia, it is about a 4 million ringgit business. It may have increased a little bit in the recent time, up to 6 million ringgit business. And then the industry encompasses 4 functional branches: facilities, manufacturing, servicing, and institutional. Okay? So it is a very important industry actually, because it supports, okay, a manufacturing industry, servicing industry, facilities, and also the institutionals. So facilities, for example, golf courses, sport fields, residential and commercial lawns, and also roadside and airfield tops. And then in the manufacturing sectors, we have this production of equipments, okay, irrigation system components, planting materials. So in this manufacturing sector, you can also open a business, okay, selling equipments related to top grass management. So there is a good chances for you to develop your career in business by becoming the supplier company, supplying fertilizer, pesticide, plant growth regulating compounds, and also supplying materials that we will use as a soil amendments in top grass management. And of course, in a servicing sector also, you have a chance to become the retailers of products. Okay, you become the lawn care operators, you become the landscape contractors, you become the architects, and also the designers, contract researchers and consultants, trade and professional organization, publishers. Okay. And then, of course, in the institutional sector, you can become lecturers in colleges, in universities, agricultural department, and also you can become the agricultural extension officer. So, in brief, this top class management has a very important roles, not only in our own personal benefit like producing oxygen for us, but also in the benefit in a kind of financial contribution to ourselves by providing jobs in manufacturing sector, servicing sector, and also in institutional sector. So there are many kind of things that you can do in third class related to third class industry, and you can really build a very good career in this kind of field later on. So a little bit about the salary. Of course, you can read this later on. But you can get about maybe the highest salary is around 100,000. Okay, this one in United States dollar. So you can be really a very rich person if you become a third class golf course manager, a top class manager in a golf course industry. So just want to share a little bit about what you can do. You can become like that person, maintaining third class on a daily basis, and you get a good salary from there. Of course, there will be also a good career that you become a golfer in your life. Although it may be a little bit late, but surely it is a very healthy sport, and it will really improve the way you think about yourself, not only your health, but also the way you think about yourself. People play golf actually for a business reason, where they discuss about business, but of course also they play golf for their own satisfaction, and of course a time for them to reflect with a lot of things, because you can play golf alone. So that is the unique things about golf. You can play it alone, and during that session you can think about your career, you can think about your life, and of course other things. So that is the best moment actually for you to think and reflect about everything around you, your life, your career, and of course what you can contribute to the country. You can do that while you are playing golf. So of course there are other related career, like you become the designer of golf course. This one of course not really available widely. Okay, because to be a designer of golf course while the development of golf course is also very slow, will not be easy to find that kind of jobs. But of course, the other things on the list can easily available, like sport field manager. Of course, there are so many around the country. It's just a matter that you look for it. You become the loan officer for the government agency. You of course you sell sod. Okay? It is about 12 ringgit per square foot, so you have a chance to generate income easily. You become the environmental officer, of course, lecturer and teacher, and of course, you can also become the research scientist. Okay. All right, so about the top class quality in general, we are talking about quality as a function and also appearance and playability. So the example, okay, if you want to establish a lawn, a top grass lawn, it should be dense, uniform, and of pleasing color. So that is the uh, quality that expected. And then if you are managing turf grass for the purpose of sports, it should be a firm footing. That means somebody can stand on it, and it will become a very stable platform for the person to be there. It should be resilient to impact. Okay, because people use the field for sport activities. So of course it need to be resilience to any impact from that activity. You are When we have sport events, the players will trample on the ground, and the turf grass will become the cushion, okay, to improve the play quality during the sport events. And then of course is the top grass need to be wave resistance, and should be fast recuperating. Recuperating is getting back from being damaged easily, and getting health again easily after being damaged. So that is the expected quality of top grass when you establish a sport field. And in golf, there are many parts of the golf course. For example, fairways and also the greens. So for fairways, it should be able to hold the ball at top of the grass, okay, so that then you can swing and hit the golf ball easily, and can enjoy the activities. Okay? And of course, in the golf green, if you establish top grass on a golf green, you should need to provide a sufficient ball holding capacity. Okay, so you establish the turf grass so that it will provide the sufficient ball holding capacity for properly directed approach shots and also through putting from the any position on the green. So here is the simple map about golf course. Okay, so you have the tee box. Tee box is where you start the golf play. Okay? And then your target will be the green. Of course, in the simple picture, it look like uh, it is an easy spot, but actually in real life, it will be very difficult. Okay, so from the tee box, you need to uh, hit the ball and then targeting to end at the green. As I said, okay, it is not easy for anyone of us to enjoy a golf a game unless you understand that you play golf actually for for your own satisfaction and reflection, and also for you to give a little bit challenge for you to be a little bit objective. Okay, so it is actually a game for somebody, okay, to improve the south direction in life. But of course, in a game of golf, they are competing sometimes to ensure who is the best competitor. Okay? But in general life, most people play golf, okay, to have a time to reflect on things around them. And then in the golf course, you can see the not only the green but also the what we call as the sand trap, the rock, and also the water, and of course trees. The water actually being used as a challenge. Okay. Also the sand also being put there as a challenge for the player. Okay? Because there will be always a chance that the player will land the balls on sand and on the water. Then it will become a challenge for them, okay, to ensure, okay, that they will not hit the ball and landed on that kind of uh, environment in a golf course, because it will increase, okay, the numbers swing, and in a golf play, the less swing you do, the better you are. So that is the challenge. And indirectly also, while you are playing to overcome the challenges, you are also reflecting on what you want to do in your life. So here is a picture of the tee box where the player will hit the ball and direct it to the green and then to the putting. Okay, so the map look very simple over here, but if you really see it on the real setup, it is actually very difficult for you, because on the left and right there will be a challenge in a form of trees, sand bunker, and also a water body in a water pond. Okay. So for proper turf grass management, it will involve. Okay. So you need to realize in this course, when you learn about turf grass, okay, the proper turf grass management will involve proper establishments, selection of well-adapted turf grass, acceptable establishment procedure. Okay, so proper establishments. They will be different between turf grass that you use, okay, or you plant under a tree, and a turf grass that you use in an open area or not under the tree. Okay, there will be different turf grass for that purpose, and you need to select the correct one. And that is the meaning of proper establishment. And then the next one is acceptable establishment procedures. Of course, if you want the turf grass to look good, you need to add fertilizer. But at the same time that you need to ensure that you not over apply the fertilizer. Okay? If you over apply, there will be consequences to the environment where the excess fertilizer will be leads to the uh, to the drainage system, and if there are too much nitrogen in our river systems, it will change the environment of the uh, river ecosystem. Then it will cause uh, a series of consequences to the environment, and this is what we call pollution. Okay, so that's the reason that we need to uh, understand what is a proper establishment of top grass, and understand also what is a acceptable establishment procedure in order for to ensure mowing. It should not be irrigation and also irrigation practices. If we use too much water also in golf is also a waste, but too little water also we will create a very poor turf grass area. And then the third one is a proper secondary maintenance. We need to control uh, like the thatch. Thatch is the organic matter related to turf grass. From time to time, you need to add sand into the turf grass field, and that one called top dressing. Okay, so you need also to ensure that you know the proper secondary maintenance, so that then you can create or establish a functional, okay, turf grass field. Okay? You will able to create turf grass field that contribute, okay, to the benefit of our environment, and also for the benefit of other ecosystems. And then the fourth one is a proper additional maintenance. Okay, you need also to be very good in this proper additional maintenance. For example, in pest and disease control, okay? Because it will damage the turf grass field. When the turf grass field is damaged, it will not function very well, and it will not function very well. You won't get the benefit of having a good turf grass field in your environment. So let's see a little bit about the turf quality. Later on, we will learn about this one in throughout of the course, but it is good for us to understand right at the beginning of this course about the turf quality. So of course, the first one is about the visual quality, and the second one is about the functional quality. Okay, visual, of course, the appearance. Okay, what we see. Okay, and functional quality is how the turf grass will function in the environment for us to get the benefit of having turf grass in our landscape. So the quality of the turf grass from the perspective of visual quality will involve density. The more dense the turf grass, the better the field will be, because then it will cushion the landscape very well, And for visual quality, also the texture. Texture is actually related to the size of the turf grass. The smaller is the turf grass, the better it will be in terms of texture. But not all area turf grass field will need a small and tiny turf grass, because usually this kind of turf grass will also a very high maintenance turf grass. And that's the reason that we diversify it within the turf grass field, where there will be area that we will use a small and tiny turf grass species, and there will be area that we will use a slightly bigger and more coarse turf grass. Okay, so texture usually being measured based on the size of the leaves and also the height of the turf grass. The smaller it is, the smoother it will be, and that's why we call it a soft texture. And then from the visual quality of turf grass, we need also to uh, concern about the uniformity. Okay, it should be uniform so that it will be beautiful. But usually we can do that by applying a mowing, a proper mowing on that area. And another visual quality that we need to concern about turf grass management is about the color. Okay, it should be green so that then it will be nice in our eyes. But also sometimes we can use colorants, okay, or pewarna. There will be a color that we can spray on the turf grass that the turf grass will look nice. And usually they use it during the Gold Coast tournament. And from the visual quality also, we need to concern about the growth habits, whether it is rhizomatous or it is it's just a bunch type, or it is spreading on the surface of the uh, field. And then of course the smoothness, whether it is smooth. Uniform is talking about whether it is flat, and smoothness is referring to whether it is not only flat but also it will cover the ground, okay, uh, throughout of the different kind of terrain. It's being so smooth that the different kind of terrain will look nice and also still look very uniform, although it may the area will be undulating. And then in terms of functional quality, we need to concern about the rigidity. Rigidity is the strength of the grass, because if it is not that strength, it will not able to hold the ball on the top of the field. Okay, so it need to be rigid so that it can sustain. It can sustain the players on the top of the field. But at the same time, also it need to be elastic, so that once you trample on it, it will go back to its original position and stand. At the same time, it need to be also resilient, so that if you use the area repeatedly, you go around the field quite regularly, like in a sport field, the grass is not easily damaged. So that is related to resilience. And then, of course, you need also to ensure that the ball will roll smoothly on the ground, on the surface. And then functional, we are also talking about the yield of the turf grass. This one, we are talking about how much tillers that the turf grass will produce. This one, of course, related also with the density in the visual quality. Yeah. Then the yield will actually will affect not only the density but also the cost management. Okay, if the top grass grow very fast, you need to cut it regularly. If you cut it regularly, it will increase. Okay, the machinery usage, and if machinery usage increases, it will also increase the cost to manage the turf grass area. And then in the functional quality, you also to concern about the value or the greenness. Of course, it's also related to the color in the visual quality. You need also to concern about the rooting capability or rooting strength of the turf grass, because if you use it for erosion control, okay, you need to ensure that the turf grass that you plant in the area will have a very good rooting systems. And then, of course, you need to concern about the recuperative capacity. Although the turf grass need to be resilient, that is, it need to be able to sustain, okay, the impact of players playing on the ground. But of course, finally, the turf grass also still being damaged by the sport activity. But then you need to plant a turf grass that can recuperate very fast, so that then you will be able to maintain the quality of the sport field, to ensure that the sport, okay, activities are not, okay, disturbed by the time of the turf grass to recuperate. And then here is the other information related to that one. You can read it later on once I upload this slide in ITELS. So you can read it by yourself. I have explained it a little bit. And of course, the description is there and what should be the requirements. Okay, so that's all about the turf grass management and industry in general. So I do believe that you have a good general overview what is turf grass management and what are the qualities expected. If you what are the quality expected for the turf grass when you are managing a turf grass field in real setups. So in brief, today we have learned about the synopsis of the course. You have learned about the expected learning outcomes. We have learned about the turf grass industry, the career, and also the kind of salary that you will receive. And of course, we have learned about the top quality criteria. Okay? So this will give you the fundamental knowledge in this course that you will need to maintain throughout of the course towards the end. So if you become a turf grass manager, you have to understand, okay, the expected turf quality. Also, you need to understand the industry. You have to have a good understanding about the industry. In order for you to establish a high quality turf grass at a very low budget. Okay, so that is the goal of your task as a goal or as a turf grass manager. Okay? Your goal is to establish a high quality turf grass field at a very low budget. Okay? Usually the budget to maintain, for example, in a golf course at the putting area or at the green area. Green area is only a small area. It may be only about 5 4 to 5 meters length and width, but the cost to manage the green is about 25,000 a month. So it is very expensive actually. But if you target to manage it at a high quality, at a lower budget, then you can say that you are a very good top class manager. So in any case that in the future you become a top class manager, you really need to ensure that you manage it, okay, to that target. Okay, establish a high quality top class at a very low budget, but not too low, because of course we understand that there will be a minimum. Okay, but if you don't concern about this one, for sure that the cost for you to manage a top class field will be very high, and that will not so good for the economy of the uh, golf club. Also not good for the economy of the funder. But of course, in general, it will still a very good things for landscaper, because every time they increase the cost of the grass management, of course their profit will also increase at the same time. But being a responsible citizen of this country, what we want to do is actually to see the very balanced management in a way that the cost is not too high, that at the end it will also create a problem in our financial situation. But then, of course, at the same time, we balance it with the quality of the third class that we are managing. So a balance should be better, rather than to ensure that the quality is high at the low budget. That is also maybe a little bit difficult to achieve. But what I mean by low budget is actually I'm referring to the minimum. Okay, we have what we call as a minimum budget, and still yet we can establish a very good top class field. All right, so that's all for today.